When I'm choosing what foods I'm going to bring into my kitchen for myself and my family, there are a few simple principles that I keep in mind. I'm Tammy Stewart at Health for a Purpose. I'm a certified health coach and certified cellular detoxification specialist. Choosing foods is something you can control immediately. You are in complete control over all the foods that you put in your mouth starting right now. Isn't that right? So that's the first place to start to make a huge impact, improving your health so that you can accomplish God's purpose for your life, free from the distraction of disease. First, simple principle: food by God for the body by God. So look at the food and think, did God make that? And how did man participate? Did man water the plant? Did man put chemicals on it? Did man hybridize it or genetically modify it? Is this food that I'm eating being fed what God intended to feed that? So food by God for the body by God. Second, think of how, it's the law of biological concentration. Think of how much grass a cow has to eat, for example, to give you one serving of food. That's a lot of grass. I can't possibly ever eat that much salad. So if I'm going to prioritize, the most important thing for me to choose high quality would be animal products because of that. So let's talk really briefly. Let me come back to fruits and vegetables, get that off the table really quick. You can choose, go to environmentalworkinggroup.org and find the Clean 15 Dirty Dozen document. That will tell you which foods should always be organic and which foods might not have to be. Second, that same group, Environmental Working Group, that's EWG.org. I think I said it wrong a minute ago. EWG.org. You can get a list of genetically modified foods. Now, genetically modified and hybridized are a little different. Wheat is hybridized. Man intervened and hybridized the wheat unnaturally. And that's what created all the glutens that people are so sensitive to, because those glutens were not made by man. Hybridized wheat has many more glutens, larger glutens that the human body doesn't recognize and can't absorb and therefore cannot get nutrition from. So you can eat organic grains, ancient wheat. Always has to be organic, any kind of grain. So that's enough about fruits and vegetables and grains. So let's talk about our animal products, because that's the most important. Think about the cow. What did God design the cow to eat? Grass. 100% grass. That is the number one most important thing. Go to eatwild.com and you can download a report showing you all of the red meat and telling you what happens to the fatty acid ratio in that meat if it was in the feedlot 30, 60, 90 days. Even 30 days in the feedlot completely changes the fats in the meat. I'm not going to buy meat at the cheap drive-through or at the cheap department store, because that meat will make me sick. But when I eat meat that is fed the way God designed, 100% grass for the cow, that meat will nourish my body. Let's think about poultry. What did God design the chicken and the turkey to eat? Pasture. Run around in the pasture, range-free, cage-free. Those are not good enough. It really needs to be pastured. Now with poultry, sometimes you're going to have to make some compromises with eggs, but ideally you want pastured. So the chicken is free to run and eat bugs and seeds and nuts and roots and things that chickens are supposed to eat. That's the kind of poultry, that's the kind of egg that you want. Really needs to be verified non-GMO, because very often chickens are fed corn. Corn, while the definition of organic says that it can't be genetically modified, corn will cross-pollinate. So corn, with corn organic is not enough. It needs to be verified non-GMO, unless it's popcorn or blue corn. Those won't cross-pollinate. So red meat, poultry. Let's think about fish. Fish needs to be cold water, wild caught. Fish should especially not be farmed. When they farm fish, they feed it corn. Well, God did not design fish to eat corn, so it needs to be wild caught, not farmed. It needs to be cold water because the cold oceans have been shown not to have as many toxins as the warm oceans. You're going to get lower mercury in cold water fish than warm water fish. And then for dairy, I'm just a couple of quick thoughts about dairy. How did God design us to eat dairy? God did not homogenize and pasteurize it. God made it raw. And then ancient man, if he had milk left over by tomorrow or the next day, it would be cultured. It would be kefir or cheese or yogurt, some things like that. So in a perfect world, dairy should be raw. It should also be A2 beta casein. If you want to read a book about that, The Devil in the Milk is a perfect resource for you. I hope all of this information has helped, and if it did, please subscribe, like us, share with your friends, because they're looking for that kind of truth also. And this kind of information is not very widely known. So you can be the hero by sharing that information with your friends. If you like this and you want more information, please contact us. And we have our Forever Young Academy, where we include lots of information like this in several of our courses. Some are available individually, some are available through the membership site. We have monthly Q&A calls and guest interviews, and we'd love to walk the journey of health with you. Health is a journey, not a destination. Your health is your greatest asset. I hope this helped.